We've got ourselves a new contender for the worst movie of the year. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my review of the latest Netflix film, Night Teeth, starring Debby Ryan of Disney Channel fame. A college student moonlighting as a chauffeur picks up two mysterious women for a night of party hopping across LA. But when he uncovers their bloodthirsty intentions and their dangerous, shadowy underworld, he must fight to stay alive. So before I give you guys my thoughts on this movie, definitely hit that like button, comment your thoughts down below, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future movie reviews. So right off the bat, you can tell this is a straight to Netflix movie, and I hate to say that because there are some high quality Netflix films, but this just feels like one of those low effort movies that they made to try and make a little bit of money on the side. Like the moment the first line of dialogue was spoken, you could tell it was just going to be cheesy and horribly written, and that is exactly what it turned out to be. This is one of the worst written movies of the year, and the premise alone is essentially a ripoff of the movie Collateral, directed by Michael Mann, starring Tom Cruise. I love that movie. It's a nighttime thriller set in LA where a taxi driver has to drive a hitman around so he does different hits. This is essentially a different version of that with vampires and a really messy plotline. Essentially, this college kid is driving around two vampire girls to different parties, and then he uncovers they're actually sucking blood there, and there's a whole plot to take down different bosses, and it just gets really clunky and uninteresting right out of the gate because I don't care about any of these characters from the start of the movie because of how poorly acted they are and just because of how underdeveloped they are. And the two vampire girls are really phoning it in and basically going for some off cheesy performance that just doesn't work at all. It basically feels like Disney Channel acting in a PG-13 movie. There's also some insane scenarios that make zero sense at all. Like, it's a nonsensical movie, one that I basically had to turn my brain off to watch, or just found myself zoning out and not really giving a damn during because it is so meaningless. Like, there are various plot lines going on and it didn't really lead up to anything. It does star Theon Greyjoy, so that kind of intrigued me because I was like, oh, that's Theon. Maybe his character will be interesting. No, he's just some one-dimensional vampire villain that's trying to kill all the other vampires in the city. And one of the two main vampire girls was very cringe. Anytime she spoke, I was just like, oh my gosh, how did this get put in an actual movie? And Debby Ryan has experience working with Disney Channel, so obviously she didn't have to do much here. But aside from the Disney Channel acting and that low caliber Instagram explore page skit level of writing this movie has, there's literally nothing to offer. The visual effects are also terrible. It has your trademark Netflix drone shots, but there's a lot of just horrible effects, notably in the third act when there's fight sequences. You can see someone getting beat up and there's blood splatters that look terribly CGI, or like a drone shot of a car turning and it literally looks like a little computer graphic video game where they'll take a 90-degree turn instantly. So it's laughably bad in a sense. It's a movie that I cannot recommend any of you watch. While it does its best to try and be creepy, there's 10 times better vampire movies and shows that just conquer the lore of being a vampire much better in a more compelling manner. I'd take the Twilight series over this any day of the week. Even the Vampire Diaries show does a better job of showing what a vampire would be like because it tries to set up some history and mythology early on with this voiceover, but it just completely abandons that throughout the movie, and it doesn't even really rely on the fact that they are vampires. It's just a gimmick to try and get the audience involved. Like, if the same exact movie came out and these two girls were just hitmen, it would have the same impact at the end of the day. The fact they're vampires is just gimmicky because it came out in October near Halloween. It's not a creepy movie or a horror movie. They're literally just vampires, and that's not really even cool because the effects are terrible, and it just leads to really cheesy delivery talking about sucking blood. 30 times they're talking about sucking someone dry, and that is just an extremely uncomfortable line, honestly. But overall, Night Teeth is a terrible movie and might be the worst of the year. I really have to think about it, but it has no redeemable qualities, and for that reason, I have to give it 0.5 out of 5 or half a star, which is honestly probably being too kind to it. I don't think anyone's really going to watch this movie. It's probably going to be a massive failure for Netflix. Megan Fox is in this movie for 5 minutes, and I know they were kind of promoting her to be a star of it, so. But that's going to do it for my review of Night Teeth. If you guys have seen this movie, please let me know what you think of it down below. I thought it was an abomination and pretty disgraceful, honestly. But again, that's going to do it for my thoughts on this movie. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any future Netflix reviews, rankings, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.